goes on, it'll be messy out there.
Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a good matchup here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Second down now after the pass completion. Now Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A gain of 32 that time.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
10 more there and another first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night.
Because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. His pass caught at the 4. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now a carry here for Terrence West. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
On the ground, it's West again. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Flacco. And it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. Look at the spin.
teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Falcons averaged 34 points a game last year, tops in the NFL with that powerful offense, and they're already looking for more. Here's they've got it 1st and 10. They toss to Freeman. A little 3-6, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, a 13-yard touchdown run, and the Falcons will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. There, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him...
They do!
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it...
Preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, hey, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big...
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And some room to roam now. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Falcons will extend their lead. He's on pace now for 12 rushing touchdowns, and I think he's making fantasy owners smile.
I think you've got to change something on defense, don't you? I mean, we often talk about using a spy on a quarterback who has the ability to run and maneuver outside of the pocket. Maybe they need to change that to spying him, because this many touchdowns this early, that is demoralizing for a defense. One guy breaking them down.
This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Second down, Flacco now. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Takk McKinley in there to sack him for a loss of 6. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Adrian Claiborne in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And taken at the 46. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Whoosh. And now running right through it. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's third down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only second down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up third down.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
If he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Maybe a little sign of life here offensively, Charles. They get their first down. They didn't have any in quarter number 1.
And I think what we're seeing is great evidence.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Vic Beasley. From that outside linebacker spot, he's able to get in there for a loss of 9.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he powers his way up past the 30. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominent.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fielded at about the 28. Freeman with a fast feet. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. The Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. A first scoring update now from Carolina. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Now Ryan on first down. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And he rifles one incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And now it's second down. This, of course, week 2 of the preseason, but we did have a couple of teams that got the extra game. The Hall of Fame game was played on a Thursday this year between Arizona and Dallas.
Yeah, and they welcomed in this year's Hall of Fame.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Tyus Bowser In from his linebacker spot, he's able to drop it for a loss of about 10. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. He's got Sanu. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. It's a gain of 24 that time. And that leads to an Atlanta first down.
That was 4th and a mile. Almost 4th, and why are you doing this? I mean, they got it done, though. Went up and got it. What a big-time pickup.
I was just going to say that. It's a receiver. You got to have that go-get-it attitude. He had it there.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Ravens have been worked over in the first half and trail big right now. The Falcons took control of the game, and unless something drastic changes, it seems like they might be able to coast to victory. All right, let's roll the highlights. Falcons opening up on offense. Coverage breaks down here, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. The Falcons is up now by 7. 3rd and long. Flacco's under fire and will throw the pick. Trufant is the one who makes the pick, halting the offense's drive. Now following the pick, they run. It's Devontae Freeman. And he'll go in for the score. The lead now at 14. Following the forced fumble, Freeman's going to bust out into the open space, and he'll run it in from 29 yards out. The lead grows to 21. 1st and 10. The ball's going to come out on the run. He'd end up picking up 41 yards on this run. Following the forced fumble, they run. It's Devontae Freeman. And he'll take this all the way for a touchdown as the lead continues to mount. Falcons have it early in the second. Quick pass and completion is made here, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 17-yard line. Falcons still on the field. Freeman's got it on the run, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. Falcons continue to dominate.
Okay, Larry. Fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They stay on the ground with Dixon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Green, 39.
A first throw for the backup Cutler. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he puts a little something extra into this one. By far his best of the night. This is taken around the 12. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He's got Fuller. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
That looked like a pretty good route, find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Here we go now.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And his throw's going to be incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, you're carrying...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team? Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On second down, it's Dixon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
And this is a blowout so far. Second down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They've been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that, because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
There's Garoppolo to throw. Finding some room at midfield. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Levine Toilolo, 65 yards, and the Falcons add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And the Ravens taking the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Throwing now, Cutler on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Watch tight, watch tight. Tight end right, tight end right. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now Cutler on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
3-19.
2nd and 10. It's Cutler again. And his throw here's incomplete.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And take it right on the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So out come the Falcons now. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now a toss play. It's Carson. And some space here. Past the 20. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
All right, here we go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. All right, here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Cutler will throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taken in at the 22. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, a 22.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now it's Carson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't it?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. On first down, it's Cutler. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for them.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.